What is it about Paul Rudd? Like, I can't figure out. When I first saw him, and the first time I saw him, I thought, this is a guy whose uncle is an exec and got a job, right? And then all of a sudden, I see him again. Like, he's got a very like every guy kind of look. I mean, not like overwhelming, not striking. And then all of a sudden, I mean, he turned 50 the other day, and I was like, I think I tweeted, he's a goddamn American treasure. Everything, he has this draw you in ability. I saw him on the street in New York one time, and I did a double take, but not because he was Paul Rudd, just because he has an air about him. What is it about Paul Rudd? Like, you've been you've acted with him, and you've also been like on the other side of the camera. What is it? What has he got?
Yeah, no, I got to tell you, I've done 6 movies with him. He's a very good friend of mine, and I think it is a true mystery. I've talked to him about it, but I think he's got that incredible thing that you want. Like, he's a movie star, and he has this ability innately, and I'm sure I know he works hard too, but I know he's also born with this ability to be so funny and so inviting you into his world, and so charming and so real and within the scene, while also being aware of the technicalities and the jokes and the script and what needs to happen and where to do it. I mean, he is truly a miraculous performer. I've never worked with anyone quite like him. And I had the same impression of him too. When I first started working with him, I was like, yeah, he seems fine. You know, like, you know, he's a guy, you know. And then it wasn't really until we were in the post on Wet Hot American Summer that I started to get a real appreciation for just how genius he is. And he continues to blow me away. Every time I see him or work with him, I'm like, how does he do that? And it's funny, if you're in the edit room with him, I mean, with the material, each take he does something else that's helpful. You know, it's wild.
Really? Do you find him doing cheats ever? Like I'm sure with some actors you're like I'm not going to do it. I'm such a big fan of everyone on the state. I could find their cheat, but as a comic, I could. Like, as a comic, I could go, I'll give you my cheat. Hey, Bert, let's deliver the line. How about you don't laugh after it to, like, you know, like, just deliver the line. You ever find him doing cheats?
I mean, if you're talking about like sort of like go-to tricks or... Yeah,
like I would love to go back and watch some Paul Rudd movies and go, there he goes again.
Sometimes, I mean, you know, I think I found that he'll have little habits that I'll be like, oh, you don't need to do that. Or, you know, especially, I think when he was doing a lot of movies that had a lot of improvised process, he was reaching for improvs sometimes when he didn't need to, because it's all there, you know, but it means he's the most gifted improviser also I've ever seen on screen. But basically, no. The short answer is not really. He seems to just be in the pocket, like a drummer in the pocket most of the time. And also, sometimes he's like, I always remember working on Wanderlust when we were doing a super emotional scene between him and Jennifer Aniston out on this porch. Everyone's watching. There's rain falling. It's like a big thing, big monologues. And everyone in the scene is like, kind of like script, trying to figure it out, make sure they're ready. And like, okay, here we go. He's playing Words with Friends on his phone. I'm like, Paul, we're rolling. He's like, what? Yeah. What's going on? You know, I'm like, let's go. Okay, ready and action. He's like, all right. And then he's out, if there he is, just flawless, you know, like, so I don't know.
Yeah. He's, there's a web series called Hot Ones, and where you eat progressively hotter wings. And
I've seen that.
I've been on it, but I'm a fan of the show as well. Yeah. Paul Rudd was on it, and once again, I'm like, Paul Rudd, man, I walked away going like, this guy's fucking super special.
Yeah,
he really. I mean, like, it's amazing.
Well, I do this Instagram thing right now called CARS, collaborative covers of with amateurs of rock songs, and I asked Paul to do one verse in "Walk This Way" that we were doing. And he did literally one verse, and it was like one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Like, he just hit it just the right tone.
Can you pick that out as a director, or as a fellow performer? Can you pick that star quality out when you see them, when you work with them?
I think I can, but I don't think that's a special. I mean, that's why they have it, is because it's easy to see.
Really?
Maybe I'm underselling myself, but I feel like that's, I remember doing a short in 1998 with Zach Galifianakis, and just watching his way of being funny on camera and with little things. I'm like, this guy, Jesus, like I can never do that. And I love, one of the things I love about being a director, who I act sometimes, but I love being a director that can work with actors and just see them be so good at that and see them light up. And, sometimes you're friends with an actor or you've been working with them in prep and you met them. And then when the camera actually rolls, you realize, oh, this is why they're making a living doing this, because they really know something, or they really have some tools that the average person doesn't. And I love experiencing that.